Hello, hello. Welcome back to Something to Think About with me, Victorious Human. And I pray that you are well and you've been enjoying all the other sessions that have been out there. They're quite interesting, I'll tell you. If you'd only take the time to listen. All you have to do is listen, and you will find the nuggets in there. So, here we go. I think this is just a prelude to the one that's coming next week. So here we go. It says, sometimes it is easy to give advice. God knows we all like to give advice. Why? Because it is easy to give advice and say, don't do this, don't do that, do this, do that to someone in a certain situation. So you might be asking, why in the world are you talking about this? What has brought you to this topic? What has brought you to this point? Well, this topic was prompted by a movie which I was watching. I was watching a movie with one of my favorite actors. Unfortunately for him, he was a sniper, not a sniper. What do you call those people who kill people? Not a murderer, an assassin. He was a trained assassin. So he's like, I've had enough of assassinating people. I would like to stop, because it now comes so natural to him. He says, I want to stop. I want to stop killing people. So he's in therapy. He's learning to control his emotions. He's learning to not act on impulses, because if you do him wrong, his first instinct is to kill you. So now he is learning to hold back from such behavior. But you know what the Bible says? If you live by the sword, you will die by the sword. So obviously he had enemies, and one of those enemies came to kill him. He's somewhere out there having a good time, and bang, these people are in his house. Not even just one, a couple of people. They're in his house because they knew how dangerous he was. So they send in a couple of people, backup and everything, to come and kill him. Instead of defending himself, what does he do? He phones his therapist and says, well, I would like some advice. I'm having strong urges to kill. I want to kill. And then the therapist was like, hey man, stand strong. Don't give in. Remember, you're making such good progress. Don't give in. Just hang tight. Don't do it. But what this guy forgot to tell the therapist is, there are people who are actually trying to kill me right now. He didn't tell the therapist, he just told him he's having urges to kill. So the therapist did not have the full picture. Hence, he gave him this advice. Was this advice good advice? 100%. It was very good advice, but was it applicable to the situation at hand? No, it wasn't. A good example is when Moses was in the desert with the children of Israel and they had no water. The first time God told him to hit the rock and water came out. The second time God told him, speak to the rock. But Moses did not speak to the rock. He hit the rock because these children drove him to the brink. So he was angry. He hit the rock. Water still came out, but Moses paid dearly. So he did not follow instruction at hand. He followed previous instructions which were no longer applicable. God wanted to show himself in this instinct that he just speaks to the rock and God provides the water. But now it looks like Moses is doing the action. Moses struck the water, so the glory will go to Moses, isn't it? Anyway, does he not say he will not share his glory with anyone? So all I'm saying is, it's good to take advice. It is really good. Like, look both ways before you cross the road. Don't touch fire. Don't jump into a deep pool if you cannot swim. Don't wear the wrong shade of makeup. Don't wear small shoes. I know you want your feet to look small. Don't wear small shoes. You will get bunions. Don't do it. Don't braid your hair too tight. Don't do things. Don't overeat. Don't do this. Moisturize your skin. Basic instructions which will always be applicable. But then there is some instructions which you will have to be the judge of that. I just practice common sense. Don't get into a van and then somebody you know comes with a van and you say, I was told not to get into a van, so you refuse to go in. Do you get it? You need to use common sense. You need to, you yourself, I don't know what I can say, because these days you need to be careful what you say. Some people might just take you at your word and say, you told me to, so I did it, and things did not work out for me. No, assess the situation, see what's going on. Yeah. And if you're seeking for advice, give people the full information. Don't hold back details that will actually impact on the decision they're giving you, on the advice they're giving you. Huh? Don't, or you can't just go to someone, I hate so and so and so, but you don't give them the reason behind why you're having these feelings. And then they'll tell you, you must forgive, you must go and try to be friends, blah, blah, blah. You don't tell the person, this person, every time I'm in their presence, they beat me up. Now you've been given invalid advice. Do you get what I'm saying? So just use wisdom. Use wisdom. I don't know how much I can clarify it. I don't know. It takes me back to fresh manna. Fresh manna. Yeah, fresh manna. What is fresh manna? Remember when the children of Israel were in the desert, that food from heaven, the manna that came. I used to think manna just fell and they ate it straight away. No, they had to collect it, they had to ground it, then they had to prepare it, cook it, and then eat. I was shocked to find out that. So when we say manna from heaven, we are imagining food that just falls from heaven and we just eat it immediately. No, you have to go out there, collect it, cook it, ground it, cook it, prepare it. But what were they instructed? To collect only for that day. It was only the Sabbath where they to collect, or Friday, was it the Friday where they collect double, because on Sabbath they're not supposed to do anything, isn't it? Yeah. So only, can you see different instruction? So somebody can say, oh, it worked on Friday for me to collect for Saturday, so today let me collect for Monday. Today is Monday. I'll collect for Tuesday because I don't feel like going out on Tuesday. What would happen? You would find worms. It did not work because that advice is only valid for a particular instruction, a particular situation. So I say, allow God to guide you in all of your ways. He will direct your path. Just because something worked out in a specific way on a given occasion, it does not mean it will work again. Don't get me wrong. Common sense is a good thing. Like I was just saying, there is generic advice, lessons from people who have passed through what you are going through. Take it, but make sure it is applicable to what is happening in your situation. That's why I say, have the full picture. Give people the full picture of what is going on. Don't give half truths. You get it? The full picture truthfully, and then you'll be able to get the real advice, good sound biblical advice. That's what you need. Yeah. Sometimes you need financial advice, and not all pastors have good financial advice. Yeah. So find the person who can give you the advice that you need. But most of the time, biblical advice is the best thing. In the Bible itself, there's lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of financial advice. Lots. So you can't say this and that. Anyway, let me leave it. That's not my topic. Let me stick to this. This is how these videos end up being long. It's supposed to be just 5 minutes, but now you keep talking and talking. Shh. Okay. Like I was saying, lessons from people who have passed through where you are now. These are good, and it is a wise thing to learn and follow them. But use wisdom. Even the Bible advises that if you are going to war with someone, seek advice. If you are going to build a house, make sure you've got enough to finish the house. You get it? Lest you start building and then people will stop and point because you could not finish the build. So seek advice, do your calculations, do what you must do to see your thing finished through. Oh my days. But don't go out of your way to make unnecessary trouble. Yeah? Wars, fights, etc. Learn to live in peace with everyone as much as you can. Yes, you can do it, because the Bible does advise us to live in peace as much as possible with others. So for it to advise us, that means it is possible. So make sure the advice you follow is relevant to the situation at hand. But please, don't use relevance as an excuse to not take viable advice. It is hard to give advice on this matter, but I just had to say something on this issue. I pray that you found this article interesting and it will help you in your future dilemmas. And yeah, that's all I can say. Read Proverbs. Read Proverbs. Read it for yourself. I know I've just done that one on Proverbs, but if you also read it, you will find it very, very useful. Yeah, and you will learn and grow and become a better you. Yeah, that's all from me for now. Remain blessed and continue to be victorious. Bye.